This morning, EMAC were gracious enough to host us for a lively and very stimulating discussion on the enforcement of foreign arbitral awards in the Far East, the Middle East and beyond. We started with a look at the enforcement of foreign awards in China, particularly given the increased trade, not only between the UAE and China, but generally given the increased investment from China in the GCC and MENA region. There are particularities and difficulties that are unique to the Chinese jurisdiction, and we had a look at what some of those are and some of the ways that parties involved in trade with Chinese counterparties can try and protect their interests moving forward. We then looked at the enforcement of awards within the DIFC and awards generated within the DIFC, for example, at institutions like EMAC. And that's subject to the DIFC arbitration law and what that means. Before then having a look at the enforcement of foreign arbitral awards in the broader GCC region, including the UAE. So we looked at the new amendments to the Civil Procedure Code pursuant to the recent Cabinet decision and what that means for parties, how that mixes with the New York Convention. Before looking at some examples of enforcement of awards across the GCC, including what are the legal regimes that are applicable in those countries, how those regimes are applied, the frequency of enforcement of foreign awards, and what kind of obstacles parties may encounter. And then we finished by looking at some of the other treaties that are available to parties across the GCC, for example, the Riyadh Convention, the OIC Agreement, the Arab Investment Agreement, for enforcing foreign arbitral awards within those countries. And then we finished up with some very insightful, as always, questions from the audience, looking at some of the issues that they've been facing in their experience, and we tried to answer those questions as best we can. EMAC, as we know, is a very progressive, modern thinking institution. Its rules are state of the art, right up to, they've got provisions, for example, for the appointment of an emergency arbitrator, emergency arbitration tribunal, where that is necessary, which is something quite recent. The facilities are top-notch, and of course, EMAC benefits from the strong and robust court system here in the DIFC, and of course, the benefit of being able to enforce EMAC awards onshore by virtue of the JAL, the Judicial Assistance Law, in force between DIFC and onshore Dubai.